Dear friend, please never give up, you can change your life. Let's look at these stories. 1. The Lazy Princess and the Magic Exam. In a faraway kingdom there lived a lovely little princess who spent most of her days snuggled up in her comfy bed, even making the sun yawn. One day she met a wise old sage and shared her troubles. I have a big magic exam coming up, but I'm too lazy. I spend too much time in bed and feel like nothing matters anymore. Life feels pointless. The old sage smiled gently and said, you know, you're not the only one in the kingdom who feels this way. But don't worry, today I'll tell you a story that might help you find some answers. 2. Overcoming laziness and waking up early. The Lazy Worm and the Wise Bird. The old sage began with the story of a lazy worm and a wise bird. Every morning when the bird sang to welcome the new day, the lazy worm would curl up on its leaf, basking in the warm sunlight. Just 5 more minutes, it's fine, the worm would say to itself every time. But those 5 minutes would always stretch into an hour. One day the wise bird flew by and chuckled, did you know laziness is a sweet trap? If you only do what's easy, your future will be hard. But if you choose to do hard things now, your future will be much easier. The lazy worm grumbled, but waking up early is so hard. The wise bird winked and replied, just try waking up early for 3 weeks. It will be tough at first, but soon it will become a habit as easy as breathing. Then you'll be able to soar toward your dreams instead of hiding under a leaf. The little princess thought about this, realizing that she too was like the lazy worm. She made up her mind to stop clinging to her bed and start waking up with purpose, just like the wise bird. 3. Dealing with exam stress and focus, the magic book and the mysterious clock. Next, the old sage told a story about a magical book and a mysterious clock. At the kingdom's magic academy there was a book that could help students review all their spells before an exam. However, it had one special rule: you could only focus on one spell at a time, and you could only study for 20 minutes before the clock chimed. An impatient student worried about the upcoming exams opened the book and tried to learn all the spells at once. His mind soon became tangled like a ball of yarn, and the only thing he remembered was the feeling of failure. Curious, the princess asked, so what's the right way? The sage replied, a wise student focuses on just one spell at a time, studying for 20 minutes and then taking a 5-minute break. This way they master each spell and remain calm during exams. This technique is known as the Pomodoro technique. Remember, focus on the task at hand and forget about everything else. That's how you will conquer the challenge. The princess nodded, determined to focus on one thing at a time and not be overwhelmed by the many subjects she had to learn. 4. Facing failure, the story of the Weeble doll and its secret. The sage then shared the story of the Weeble doll. Once the brave Weeble doll entered an important contest full of confidence. Yet in the first round it was knocked down. The crowd laughed, saying, you lost. Just give up, but the Weeble doll smiled and stood back up. I will never give up. I may fall 100 times, 1,000 times, even 1,000,000 times, but each time I will rise again and try. Every time the doll fell, it learned something new. It never quit, and eventually it won the contest. The Weeble doll told the audience, as long as you keep getting back up, one day you will succeed. Hearing this, the little princess felt a surge of courage. She realized that failure was not something to fear, giving up was. No matter how her exams turned out, she promised herself she would never quit. 5. Finding value in life, lighting the flame of life. Finally, the sage shared a warm story. Once there was a child who felt that her life had no value, like a candle about to go out. One day she met a lamplighter. The lamplighter told her, everyone can light a flame in their life, and that flame is sparked by love, learning, and helping others. The lamplighter continued, when you feel like your life has no value, try doing something for others. For example, bring a smile to your parents' faces and tell them, "I did it." They've given you so much and you can repay them by studying hard and becoming a better version of yourself. Remember, there are many people around you who love you and they want to see you shine. The little princess was deeply moved. She realized that she wasn't just studying for herself, she was also doing it for the people who loved her. As long as she kept trying, her life would be full of meaning and value. 6. Encouragement and blessings, the wishing star. With the stories over, the princess felt like she could see a wishing star shining brightly in the sky. The sage spoke gently, "On the journey of life we all face laziness, stress and failure. But as long as you don't give up, one day you will reach your dreams." The princess thanked the sage and said, "I know what I must do now." She left the sage's room, her heart full of hope and courage, ready to start her studies and face her upcoming magic exam. This story, filled with lively parables and inspiration, reminds us that no matter what challenges we face, whether it's laziness, stress or failure, if we keep going and face them with determination, we can always find meaning and success in life.